If you're an Amazon seller and you're not getting the results from your Amazon PPC ads that you believe you should be getting, like some fluke is happening, something is happening, and it seems like Amazon is against you when it comes to running ads and getting profitable results, then keep watching this video because I'm about to be talking with DK from an Amazon PPC marketing agency called Entourage. He's going to be sharing some really helpful insights into what you need to keep in mind when running Amazon PPC ads. He's going to be sharing some really great insights for brand new sellers as well as established sellers as far as what you need to know how Amazon is going to be charging you when it comes to the PPC ads and how your conversion rate for your overall listing and how your organic SEO and the keywords in your listing plays a big role in your PPC performance. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Real quick, if you don't know me, my name is Ian Smith and I run an Amazon marketing agency called Evolve Media Agency. At EMA, we completely revamp Amazon listings by doing top-tier product photo and video shoots at very affordable prices. With our photos, we take a wide variety of them like white background, multicolored background shots, top-down shots, front-on shots, shots with marble backdrops and wood backdrops, lifestyle type of shots. So we get a wide variety of images to be able to edit up to be able to use in EBC content and main product photos. We insert powerful sales copy that drives Amazon shoppers to make a purchase. We also create videos that can be used in multiple places on product detail pages, as well as PPC ads, in search results and things like that, as well as off Amazon like TikTok ads. So if you want to get access to our free Amazon listing checklist, browse our blogs, or book a free consulting call with me, then head over to emaamz.com. So now let's carry on with the video and let me introduce you to DK. What's up, DK? Thanks for jumping on this video with me, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. So tell me a little bit about what your role is over at Entourage and what the company does.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Entourage is a carbon 6 company. And what we do is we strictly focus on Amazon advertising. So we're an Amazon advertising agency and we handle all types of clients regarding their Amazon journey from A to Z. And I've been a supervisor for about 3 years now. So it's been quite a ride. Okay, awesome. So you guys definitely know what you're doing over there when it comes to managing Amazon PPC campaigns, which is really the point of this video, right? We want to get some good insights from you. So if you can share some really good Amazon PPC insights that you're finding in the year of 2022, go ahead and kick things off with what's that first really important insight that Amazon sellers need to keep in mind when running Amazon PPC campaigns? Yeah, I mean, a lot has changed, right? And Amazon's advertising, market is very fast paced. And so it's very important to keep up with anything that's new, right? But the big thing that a lot of people forget about is regarding bidding. And that's a huge factor because, compared to 2018, we did not have that many targets that we can play with. In 2022, we have so many ways to advertise. And so people need to understand how bidding actually works in all different areas, for sure.
Okay. And so as far as bids, there's a lot of other, and when you say different places to advertise, the different placements that you can advertise, it's not just Amazon search results that you're really bidding on anymore and that you can get exposure in. It's all over different, it's on Amazon, it's off Amazon. So tell us a little bit of insights, what are other things that play a role in your bid? Is it not just putting a high bid and to win the spot? Is there other things around there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And to go back to what you just said, on Amazon, off Amazon, different ways of targeting besides just keywords. All of that plays a factor. So the number one thing is, besides just your bid amount, is your performance of your entire brand and performance of that particular product. Your past sales and your past performance and metrics all take value into what Amazon decides who's going to win the first placement on a search result.
So if your sales are low, let's say you're just starting out and you got no sales, you're a brand new seller, how would that play a role in your PPC performance?
So if you're starting out, it's going to be expensive. It's definitely not going to have the best ROI for you because, you need the social proof. right? Which is your reviews. And until you get that, you're gonna have to outbid some people, because you don't have past sales performance to kind of back your product. You're gonna have to kind of force your way in there, if that makes sense. And so a lot of that comes into how well your listings are set up and how relevant you are with your copy and the keywords and targets that you're going after.
Yeah. So, when you say relevant with your copy, so you got to be keyword optimized on your listing, right?
Absolutely.
Amazon wants to win in line with you winning. So, because they get that commission on the back end with the sales, right? So I guess if you have no data, no past sales record, then they're going to probably make it a little bit more expensive for you to sell. But if you do have sales data, then they already know, okay, we've already made some good commissions on this seller, so we know that we can put them at the top placement because we've got conversion rate data, and we know that we're probably going to get some good commission when we send traffic their way from the search results. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And the one thing that a lot of people discuss about when new products or new brands come into life is that grace period, right? People say the honeymoon period, people say grace period, but basically it's about a 90-day period that they give you to see, if this product is viable, if this product is relevant, and if it's liked by the customers. And so during that period of time, you do get more of that Amazon, training wheels in a sense for those particular products. And so you have the ability or the opportunity to show Amazon, hey, my product is relevant, even though it's brand new. And so if you play your cards right, if your listing is optimized, you're going to be liked by the algorithm, and you're going to hold on to that momentum as much as you can after the 90-day period.
Yeah, and that's definitely great for sellers to keep in mind that 90-day period is kind of like your audition, and you need to make a good impression on the algorithm in order to succeed on Amazon. But also as a seller, you need to remember that in that first 90 days, you're not going to be super profitable. Okay, I always recommend to sellers, like, put a coupon on your listing, get your conversion rate on your listing as high as possible. Coupons do help. Obviously, if somebody sees a 20% off coupon on your listing, they're more inclined to actually buy your product, especially when you're lacking in reviews, right? You got to kind of make up for the lack of social proof by giving them an insane deal that they want to take advantage of. So I always recommend, give them a really good coupon to clip. And then when you're saying, PPC ad costs may be higher, so know that you may not even be profitable because of the cost of PPC, because of that discount, because maybe your overall sale price, your selling price is lower in general. So don't, launch a product on Amazon thinking that day one is going to be profitable, and even month one is going to be profitable, because probably you may be at a small loss, hopefully a small loss, but even like a big loss. Back in the rebate days, people were giving away products for free, and we're not saying do that at all. Don't do that anymore. Those days are over. But any more insights?
Banned. Those days are actually banned.
Yeah, those days are gone.
Amazon nipped them in the butt real quick, and they're not allowed to. It's totally against terms of service now. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And a lot of these things that seem very simple in practice just have to be on top of it. So you have to be very vigilant in the first 90 days, and you'll get there for sure.
Well, and also your inventory and your stock play a big role in that, right? So you got to be ready to refill on your inventory as quick as you can. And I know a lot of sellers have been having issues with trying to sell or trying to push more products in the inventory and being limited, and they're running out of stock. And so how does running out of stock play a role in your PPC campaign? Because I've heard a lot of sellers saying, like, oh, I'm just going to keep everything the same and just increase my price, or I'm going to, try to finagle things so that they don't run out of inventory. But what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So, anybody can tell you that, running out of your inventory, whether it's your launch phase, whether any phase of your product's life cycle is a detriment, as long as it's not too long, right? As long as it's not too short. If you're going to be out of stock for a week, you're not going to have much of an issue. But if you're going to be out of stock for about a month, and which a lot of sellers had issues with in the past 2.5 years, they would have their inventory stuck at sea, not being able to come, and that hurt a lot of people. And so, and the unfortunate thing is, the algorithm doesn't care if your product is stuck at C, right? So algorithm is still going to work the same as any other day. So, and the one thing that I can say to anybody who is running out of stock and have issues with bringing new inventory in is don't raise your price. You have to go out with a bang, because you have to keep in mind that the algorithm doesn't care, right? It doesn't know that you have issues with inventory. It just assumes that you don't have anymore. So when I say go out with a bang, if you're selling X amount of units per day, and based on that ETA, you're going to be out for, let's say, a month, right? It's much more easier for you to return to those numbers when you come back, opposed to switching over and saying, "Oh, I'm going to increase my price to reduce my daily sales." Because what does that do to you when you lose sales numbers? Your BSR tanks, right? So impressions tank. And so what you're doing is you're telling the algorithm, "Hey, my product is not doing well, right? My conversion rate has dropped, and now I'm out of stock." Yeah. So now you have a bad last impression with the algorithm, and now you're coming back into stock and you don't look good, right? Your last impression was not good with the Amazon algorithm.
That is so genius, man. Like to know that like you're going to kind of tank your own listing, and hurt your conversion rate. And like that is definitely going to be detrimental to your ASIN. But so many sellers think, "Oh, I'll just slow down my daily sales volume to give me more runway to get more inventory in there." But right. I mean, so what you're saying is like so opposite of, but it makes so much more sense, so opposite of what I've been hearing in the groups and seeing people talk about. But yeah, it makes so much sense. I mean, try to get your conversion rate as high as possible at all times, go out with a bang. And then if you have to turn off those campaigns because you're out of stock, I mean, you have to turn them off. And, let's say that they're off for a period of time, a month, a month and a half, 2 months or something like that. When you get inventory back in, do you just turn them back on, and are they going to work as well?
Wonderful question. Absolutely not. So remember, the one thing that a lot of top sellers would say is the algorithm looks at what have you done for me lately? How have you improved my customers' experience on Amazon.com lately, right? And how have you made me money? Right? That's also another element to all of this. And so if you have a campaign that has not performed in 60 days or more, well, you're basically going to start from scratch, okay, with that. And it's never going to perform this way it used to. We've seen this time and time again with clients in the past who wanted to, bring back certain campaigns. Oh, this campaign used to make, let's say, 500 units of sales a month, and now it's only doing 200. Well, the campaign's been off for 3 months, right? Yeah. So it's never going to perform the same because your sales history is non-existent. And so
how would you fix that?
Well, the best way to fix it is just create a copy of it. So sponsor product to sponsor brands, I believe you're able to create a copy, a mirror image, and you basically start the campaign over. And believe me, it picks up way quicker than you think, because you are already relevant for those keywords, right, in your campaigns or those targets that you may have. And so because you're still relevant, it's very easy to pick up versus trying to get a campaign that hasn't performed in 60 days or 90 days and trying to get that to perform again. So this all goes back to what have you done for me lately and what your past recent history looks like with your sales and with your campaign performance.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it totally makes sense. So as far as conversion rate on the listing, how does that play in a role with like TOS? Because like I recently made a video about how Amazon search results will shadow ban you if you're not perfectly in line with their TOS. Like if you put certain words and phrases into your title and bullet points that are kind of not a super respectable way about going around, like it's just not in line with their actual like copy guidelines. So how does that play a role in your PPC performance?
It has everything to do with PPC performance. Your relevance of your listing is the most important thing that you can do to perform in advertising, because, one, like you said, shadow banning is a thing. Okay. It's definitely real. And if you're not relevant, your ads simply will not work. So if you don't have the proper keywords, and obviously avoid keyword stuffing, okay? But if you don't have the proper keywords in your listing and it doesn't flow in a natural way, Amazon bots will pick up on that, okay?
Yeah.
They'll definitely know. And what'll happen is, you're just simply not going to get the impressions that you deserve, or you're not going to get the organic impressions that you deserve. So that's another element, and that's huge, because a lot of sellers make a majority of their profits from the organic visibility that the Amazon algorithm allows for those ASINs to have.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I like to avoid the products that actually say sponsored. I tend to try to go for the non-sponsored products. Obviously, I'm going to still buy the sponsored products, because if they've got a ton of reviews, that's some really good social proof, knowing that, like, okay, if this many people reviewed it, that means that probably 10 times more than that amount of reviews actually bought it. So that's enough social proof and trust for me to go ahead and buy this. So obviously you can't control reviews, but organic is definitely big. I mean, if I'm one of the type of buyers that try to not go with a sponsored listing, then there's got to be some other people out there that will probably lean more towards an organic listing and maybe buy from those.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you have the proper indexing done as well with all the keywords and all the copy that you have. Title, bullet points, enhanced brand content. Enhanced brand content currently is not indexed by Amazon, but it is indexed by Google. So that's why it's still important to make sure that if you are going to include any keywords in your enhanced brand content, that you make sure they're relevant and they make sense and they tell a story, obviously, because that's what enhanced brands content is for. But in terms of bullet points and title, those are just as important. That's why keyword stuffing has always been an issue. That's why there's limits to title and character amounts. For example, bullet points, if you're more than 1,000 characters, you're not going to index properly. And so you're going to have that issue of, hey, I'm running these campaigns with these keywords or with these targets. Why am I not getting enough impressions? Or I'm getting 0 impressions, right? It's because you're not relevant. You're not indexed properly.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm a huge fan of EBC content. I never even really thought that Google is crawling those pages. I've always thought for Amazon, but I mostly look at EBC as a conversion rate, buyer getting more sales information, more images, more scale and accuracy. Because I'm all about, like, when we do our Amazon listing revamps and we take photo shoots and stuff, I'm really just trying to convince and show an accurate representation of the product to the customer. Show them what size it is and all different angles, because it's hard to buy something online. You have no idea what you're really going to get. So those additional pictures in the EBC area are your opportunity to actually give them more information to make that buying decision, and also set expectations properly so that you don't have a return on your hands because they thought they were going to get X, but you gave them Y.
Absolutely. It's a really big deal. And I'm a huge advocate of making your EBC as picture rich as possible, because that's your opportunity to wow your customers. And also remember, 80% of all browsing on Amazon is done on mobile, okay? Whether it's the app or whether it's on tablet, whether it's on the mobile website. So you have to make sure that your content on your page looks good on mobile versions rather than desktop, because desktop, believe it or not, doesn't get much of the browsing love. It's more about the execution. So what a lot of people will do is they'll browse on their phone, they'll add it to list, they'll add to cart, and then they'll go home, right? And then that's when they'll purchase, right? So
I'm one of those people. For sure.
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, definitely make sure that your mobile version of your listing is up to par with what it should be.
Definitely. Hey, DK, thanks big time, man, for jumping on this video and giving us some really good tips. Before we wrap this up and end this video, do you have any last things you want to tell the viewers?
Absolutely. So thanks for having me on. I really do appreciate it. It's always fun. Can't wait to do it again. Yeah, so for your viewers only, two things. Number one, at Entourage we have what we call our Entourage playbook. Okay, it's a great guide for all types of Amazon advertising strategies, campaign types. It's a really good blueprint that anybody can use, no matter what your experience level is, and really, help your brand grow. So that's going to be for free at entourage.com. And also for anybody who wants to sign up for our Entourage PPC tool at ppcentourage.com, we're going to use the promo code Entourage to give them 50% off.
Okay, awesome. And we'll put the links in the description below of this video as well. And then we probably will, show the actual URL overlaid in this video as well. So definitely go take advantage of that stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you got some good value from this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.